about something that I actually have. It's called obsessive compulsive disorder, and a lot of people will just say OCD. For myself, I was diagnosed when I was about 15 years old, and nobody really knew what it was when they tried to diagnose me with things. This one psychiatrist actually thought I was like borderline schizophrenic. Another one just thought I was depressed, but after a few different psychologists and psychiatrists, they finally found out what I actually had then. For obsessive compulsive disorder, it's basically a combination of intrusive, uncontrollable, and unwelcome thoughts, obsessions basically, of course, along with highly developed rituals designed to try to control these thoughts, compulsions. Approximately 3.3 million Americans have it, and the ratio of men to women is about even. And unlike many other anxiety disorders, OCD can go with throughout a lifetime, and is not always progressive. For myself, I've gotten on highs and lows with it. I mean, I remember when I was a little kid, you remember people, when they say don't step on a crack, you break your mother's back. I kind of took that to the obsessive. And also, don't step on a line, you break your mother's spine. You've probably heard those kind of things, but again, I did those kind of things religiously. And telephone poles, I didn't count telephone poles, but I had to blink so many times in between telephone poles. And I did a lot of checking, even many times during the night I would wake up and see if the stove was on, or if I left my car light on inside my car. Just many different kind of obsessions. But the main one I've had for many years now is counting up to 21. I know it sounds really, really weird, but it's kind of a superstition in a way too. But I have to count up to 21, and what happens is I kind of forget about it or forget how I got to that point. And then I have to go through it again and count up to 21 again. I'll even look at digital clocks, and let's say the number 0, it equals 7. So there's 6 lines, and then the middle, that equals 7. So that's how my rhythm is. And then 2 equals 5, because there's 5 different lines. So I think if everything is digital. So a number 7 would be 3. So go on from there and try counting for yourself, but don't get obsessed, of course. And back in the day, I used to color in like the A's and B's and all letters. The inside, I used to blacken those in with pen or pencil and stuff. And let me just read a little bit about what else it actually is then. Some of the most common obsessions experienced by OCD patients, including fear of contamination of dirt, germs, or sexual activity, fear of violence or catastrophic accidents, fear of committing violent or sexual acts, and fear surrounding disorders of asymmetry. So basically with OCD, we have to have everything kind of aligned as much as possible. But again, 21 you don't think it is, but it is actually for me because it's a lucky number. But again, I have to count up to there. And if I can't count up to that number, I'll fake it, and I'll try to find another way around to that number too. But that's why my mind, it just keeps going on and on and on all the time. And I don't rest a lot. And for many years I was on medications, but once I started massage school, I don't advise this for everybody, but what I did was I quit the medications. And the biggest problem with the medications is I abruptly stopped it. I never do that because I just went totally nuts. So I highly advise anybody, if they are going to quit their medications or calm down with them, talk to a psychiatrist so they can kind of wean you off those medications, because I just went nuts and started pulling on my chest hairs with tweezers. But I know it sounds like you're crazy and everything, but the medications and balance, and I can kind of see how pregnant women, once they give birth, their emotions and everything are just all over the place. So that's kind of the feeling behind all that then. So again, hoarding is another thing where people just hoard things. And for myself, I actually went to a 12-step group for OCD, but the problem is we kept repeating the numbers over and over again. Funny, huh? Okay. But I actually did, and I myself, I couldn't get it didn't work for me, but it might work for some people. So that was just a little bit of a joke. Poor sense of humor, but but that's what it is. And again, that's why I as a massage therapist, it keeps me busy whenever I'm massaging too. So the more things I can do at once, will keep me busy. So that's why my massage website has over 25,000 different pages on there, just because I just keep having going and going and going, and that helps control my obsession some. So I was technically diagnosed with it clinically in when I was 16, of course, but I myself, I learned to live with it. I know some people dwell on those kind of things, but I myself, I try to find a way to make money out of it. Just keep me from going. But I myself, the medications helped. Honestly, they did a lot, but my moods were like blah. And I'd rather just deal with the manic kind of phases and stuff, and just keep busy as much as possible in order to help myself out in a way, because I like laughing. And honestly, most of my videos I'm kind of serious in a way, but I'm trying to change that up a little bit and add some sense of humor in there. But the problem is, humor, it can be taken different, so that's why I try to play it safe as much as possible on the internet, just to be safe. But my classes, I'm constantly laughing all the time, and I even get my doors shut on me just because I'm loud a lot of times, but that's just me in nature. And if you have any other questions about OCD or anything else, you can leave in the comment section below, and I'd like to hear from other people that have dealt with this kind of disease too, because again, it's frustrating, just especially if you don't know anybody that has it too. So it's always a good idea to have support groups, but you don't want the support groups where they dwell on each other then and kind of feed off each other. You want to be in a support group that's going to be supportive, of course. So that's what makes me tick, basically. So you'll understand why I have to do things constantly, and that's why when I talk too, I talk a little bit faster, because I got to get things out, and I'm thinking about 10 things in the future too, of what other things I can think of too. So that's why, again, I'm talking so fast. Okay, I'll stop. Thanks.